Let's set up your trade journal by customizing the settings panel. You don't have to do any of these things if you use my system and you want everything straight out of the box as I have set them. But there's a lot of customization you can do. So when you hit settings, you will get this new menu bar right here. Now, if you scroll up, the old menu bar is still there, but when you click settings, it will readjust everything, okay? And add this new bar. So the first one is your basic journal settings. You can choose a full journal. You can choose a light journal where I've selected the ones that I think are the most critical. And you can individually select as you wish. Some of them are required. For example, like the discipline's going to be required. The date and title are going to be required. I keep mine on full journal because I want to see them all. I recommend you start there because discover what you use and what you don't use, and then you can go in and fine tune your settings. At the top of your journal entry page, there can be a sticky note that can have anything you want in here. I just have some notes on journaling. It could be your leverage metrics. It could be your trade plan. It could be whatever you wanted in this little sticky note. Throughout the day, while your journal is open, and it should be open all day while you are trading, so you can make notes throughout the day. Don't rely on journaling at the end of the day. You really want to do it throughout. There will be little pop-ups. The market opened. It's New York lunch, final hour. There's a little ding with it. If you don't want to hear that, you can mute those sounds and then click Save My Journal Settings. And these are the fields, the main fields that you get to fill out. What are my notes? Do I want to do individual trade tickets? Once again, here's the trader errors. Here's the big lessons. So that is all of those fields. Let's go to number 2. So number 2 is basically set up initially. Yours are going to look a little different out of the box. These are already customized for me. You might be an ICT trader, and these entries are going to have different names to them. You might be a market profile trader. These will be different. But if you're going to track your trades by entries, what are the primary entries? And then what are the secondary entries? What might offer confluence with your primary level, okay? Or you might have actually made, let's say, a trade based off the opening that had nothing to do with these levels. Well, you're still going to have your primary levels, but these are going to be your secondary levels, okay? So it'll give you things to track over time, and then you save and you click save, and now you are done with custom entries. Now let's go to time frames. What time frames do you make trades on that you might want to track over time? Put them there and then save. What symbols do you trade? I only trade one. I trade MES. Save your symbols. That's number 3. Number 4, special days. One of the things I encourage traders to do is track your progress by special days. How do you do the day before FOMC? How do you do on the day of FOMC? How do you do the day after? After a year or so, you're going to have multiple FOMC days you can go back and look at by labels. So how do you do on OPEX Friday? How do you do the day after a bank holiday? What about the day after a long weekend? Okay. So these are your special day labels. This is where you can create your error tags. And I have quite a little list below there as well. What applies to you? What is your temptation of choice that might lead to trader errors? So you can add a row here. You can actually rearrange these if you wanted, and then save your error tags. And then you can have some personal fields. For example, I like to track, did I ruck today? Have I stayed on schedule today? You might want to create some additional fields as well. So this daily affirmations, you might come in here and you might have a AM affirmations. And these are some things that you want to remind yourself. Stay disciplined, perfect entry, whatever it might be that you would want to have. This is a little affirmations area. You can create some checklists. So maybe you want to do your pre-flight checklist in here. We can add pre-flight checklist. And now you enter your options, separate them by a comma. It might be making sure you watch the AM briefing from MicroTrader. It might be listening to someone else. It might be checking your Forex Factory, your financial juice. Whatever your checklist is, you might want that there, and you can put it. Your number fields. How many miles did you run today? Do you want an extra text box for some personal notes? Okay. And then you can save this. Do I want personal fields to appear in my journal? Yes or no? Do I want my personal fields at the top of the page or the bottom of the page? So when we get to it, you'll see where my rucking and my stay on schedule is at the top of the page. So this gives you some extra things that you can track that are just for you. Well, to be honest, everything is just for you, but it's not in the main journal. And then we have custom notes layout. This is really cool. Once again, you don't have to do this at all. It's not needed. Maybe you're happy with the default layout. You can skip this entire step. But if you wanted to, I'll show you. Let me show you when we get to the journal entry. But just know that if you want to, you could have a template where your notes would be. Let me just show you. I'm going to hit this little icon here for a trade journal. Here's the notes. You see this notes section? Mine is pre-filled out with this little template, okay? How did I do in the ETH and the AM, the New York lunch versus silver bullet versus power hour versus trading in the evening? So all of that can be set up here. You might say, George, I only trade AM and silver bullet. Okay. So we chose AM, we chose silver bullet. You can see this order, AM and silver bullet. Take this text here, just copy this code and then paste it right here. And now when you go to your journal for the notes, you will only see AM and silver bullet. Okay. I keep mine at default, because once again, I designed this trade journal basically for me and for my group. And that's how I encourage journaling to be done, is by time frame of day. But you might want to do yours differently. So this is the settings panel.